Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Imagine holding a coin in your palm, seemingly ordinary, a simple 1 cent from the year 2004 minted in the United States, something millions of people may have used in vending machines or dropped into a jar and forgotten, yet this very coin, through an extraordinary combination of rarity, historical anomalies, and minting errors, has earned a face value in the collector's market of a staggering $642 million, making it one of the most valuable coins in U.S. numismatic history and sparking a wave of obsession, disbelief, and frantic treasure hunting among collectors and enthusiasts around the world. And today we're diving deep into how and why this humble 2004 1-cent coin skyrocketed into the elite pantheon of collectibles, reshaping what we thought we knew about coinage, mistake minting, and value, and why millions of people are now rummaging through old piggy banks and dusty drawers hoping to stumble across a fortune disguised in copper. So let's peel back the layers and explore the incredible story behind this jaw-dropping anomaly, starting with the context of 2004, a year that was not particularly known for high-profile minting errors, yet quietly, without fanfare, something unusual happened at the U.S. Mint, a process deviation, a mechanical glitch, or perhaps even a quiet and undocumented trial run of experimental coin dies. But whatever the cause, a limited number of 2004 1-cent coins emerged with imperfections so subtle that most wouldn't notice at a glance but so distinct under numismatic scrutiny that they have rewritten the valuation rulebooks, and it's these very imperfections that have turned a penny into a multi-million-dollar artifact. One of the standout features of the 2004 coin is a known double die obverse error, which means the imagery on the front of the coin, typically Abraham Lincoln's portrait, appears slightly doubled due to a misalignment in the die striking process. This doubling may be most visible around the lettering such as, "In God We Trust," or "Liberty," and while double die errors are not new in the world of coin collecting, the 2004 version stands apart for its extreme clarity and its association with a very narrow batch of coins, which experts believe may number fewer than 10 in existence. And then there's the unusual composition anomalies reported in these ultra-rare specimens, with some 2004 1-cent coins displaying irregularities in weight and density, suggesting they may have been struck on experimental planchets or on leftover metal blanks from previous years, possibly even from foreign coin stock, adding yet another layer of mystery and uniqueness. In one verified case, a 2004 penny was found with a smooth-edged rim, indicating a missing collar during the striking process. And this kind of minting error combined with its scarcity makes it an absolute unicorn in the coin collecting world, and it doesn't stop there. One collector reportedly stumbled across a 2004 1-cent coin with a rotated die alignment, where flipping the coin shows the reverse design tilted significantly rather than perfectly aligned, a rare and sought-after variation that when coupled with other anomalies pushes the value even higher. And what's perhaps most compelling is the incredible journey of one such coin when it was quietly listed in a private auction with an estimated value of only a few $100,000 before fierce bidding from multiple collectors drove the final sale price past the unimaginable figure of $642 million, a number that shocked even the most seasoned experts and turned a simple penny into a global headline. And with this sensational sale, the world of coin collectors entered a frenzy, prompting major auction houses, independent graders, and financial analysts to weigh in on the sudden rise in interest surrounding U.S. error coins, especially from the early 2000s, and their potential for unforeseen value appreciation. And this sparked a new era of investigation, with magnifying glasses and microscopes becoming household staples for anyone with a spare change jar and a curiosity for hidden treasure, and people began trading stories online of their discoveries, while YouTube channels and social media pages dedicated to coin errors gained millions of followers virtually overnight, some showcasing tutorials on how to spot mint errors, how to weigh and measure your coins, how to recognize off-center strikes, die cracks, planchet defects, and more, all hoping to find the next million-dollar penny. And the story of the $642 million coin became a cultural phenomenon, symbolizing hope and mystery, a reminder that the extraordinary can hide in plain sight. And part of what makes this particular 2004 penny so fascinating is the speculation around its origin. Was it an intentional test piece that somehow escaped the mint, or a result of a late-night error shift at a mint facility, or perhaps a rogue experiment never intended for circulation? and while the U.S. Mint has not officially acknowledged the full scope of these anomalies, multiple independent grading services such as PCGS and NGC have verified the authenticity and uniqueness of the top specimens, adding layers of legitimacy to the legend. And beyond the numismatic features, the cultural impact of the 2004 1-cent coin is remarkable, with museums and private collectors vying to showcase the few known specimens, and insurance companies offering protection plans for owners of rare error coins, and even banks quietly encouraging customers to bring in old coins for evaluation in the hopes of capitalizing on the wave of attention. And what started as an obscure collector's niche has exploded into mainstream fascination, with documentaries and TV specials investigating the origins, interviews with the few lucky discoverers, and in one case, a university numismatics department received a 7-figure grant just to study mint errors in early 21st century coinage, all thanks to the ripple effect of this single 2004 penny sale. And this isn't just about one coin, it's about the stories coins tell, the overlooked histories embedded in metal, and how an object designed to be so disposable can transform into a priceless symbol of chance, history, and craftsmanship. And even now, years after the record-breaking sale, collectors continue to chase the possibility that another such coin might still be out there, hiding in circulation, misidentified in a box of common sense, or tucked away in a forgotten roll stored decades ago. And this chase has led to a new appreciation of coin collecting, especially among younger generations who are now discovering the excitement of numismatics not just as a hobby but as an investment and a treasure hunt rolled into one. And in classrooms and coin clubs, the story of the 2004 penny is used to teach students about economics, minting technology, U.S. history, and the value of patience and observation, while online forums meticulously track each known error coin from that year and catalog every auction with forensic precision, creating digital archives that future historians may one day use to piece together this moment of unexpected monetary mania. And with so much interest, forgeries have also appeared, leading to a secondary market for authentication services, and shining a light on the importance of certified grading and the roles played by professional evaluators in separating genuine million-dollar finds from clever counterfeits. And yet despite these challenges, the magic of the 2004 penny remains intact, a single moment in time where a tiny copper disc defied logic and rewrote its own worth, and in doing so, it reminded the world that sometimes the most valuable things are the ones we've overlooked. And as we conclude this deep dive into one of the most astonishing stories in the world of currency, don't forget to like this video if you found it fascinating. Subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable coin stories, and hit the bell icon so you never miss a chance to uncover the next hidden treasure that might just be lying in your pocket right now. Next, 2005 1-cent USA coin. Imagine stumbling upon a coin so small, so ordinary in appearance, yet so powerful in value that it could redefine your entire life in a single moment. And that coin is none other than the elusive 2005 1-cent United States coin. A simple penny by face value but today worth a staggering $638 million in the collector's market, making it not just an anomaly but a historical phenomenon that has captured the attention of numismatists, historians, economists, and everyday people alike, setting off a frenzy across the world as individuals scramble to uncover whether they too might unknowingly possess this modern-day treasure in their pocket change or childhood coin jars. And it's not just hype. This particular 2005 penny has surged into viral fame not only for its financial worth but for the incredible story, errors, mysteries, and minting miracles behind its creation that have made it one of the most sought-after coins in American history. So let's peel back the layers of what makes the 2005 1-cent coin such a marvel, beginning with the context of its production, a year when the U.S. Mint had settled into modern manufacturing processes with tight quality control and high output volumes, which is precisely why the rare errors discovered in a handful of 2005 1-cent coins are so baffling and so valuable. And it all starts with a specific batch reportedly struck at the Philadelphia Mint where a subtle yet critical die error resulted in a double die obverse, meaning Abraham Lincoln's profile appears subtly but unmistakably duplicated under high magnification, an error previously documented in famous older coins like the 1955 and 1972 double die cents, but nearly unheard of in 2005, making this anomaly particularly exciting to collectors. And then there's the issue of metal composition. as researchers believe that a few of these coins were mistakenly struck using leftover foreign bronze planchets from discontinued test series, giving them an off-color appearance and different weight compared to standard zinc-coated copper cents, which immediately sets them apart under the right analytical tools, and this composition discrepancy has been confirmed in at least 3 known examples of the 2005 penny now locked in private collections, which have tested at 95% copper rather than the expected 2.5%. And some were even found to have blank planchets with edges indicative of being struck outside of the usual coin collar system, resulting in a broader, smoother appearance and slightly off-center strike that numismatists describe as beautiful flaws. And perhaps one of the most compelling aspects of the 2005 penny's appeal is the mystery surrounding its low mintage error rate, because while billions of pennies were produced in that year, the number of confirmed error coins that meet the $638 million valuation threshold remains at fewer than 7 worldwide, and their provenance has been traced through a series of private auctions, estate sales, and even a bizarre story where one of the coins was found in a sidewalk crack in Indiana by a child playing with a magnet. And stories like this only fuel the mystique and desire for discovery, leading thousands of people to begin inspecting their spare change under magnifying glasses, using digital scales, studying die alignment and comparing letter spacing in Liberty or In God We Trust against high-definition reference images online, and even the tiniest misalignment or doubling has led to debate, hope, and in some cases, heartbreak, as fake or altered coins have surfaced in online marketplaces trying to mimic the real thing. And the rush to identify authentic error 2005 cents has prompted professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC to develop enhanced certification protocols specifically tailored to identifying the unique attributes of this extraordinary coin. And once a 2005 penny meets the criteria, double die obverse, copper heavy planchet, off-center strike, and certain microfeatures invisible to the naked eye, its value skyrockets into the stratosphere. And it was one of these verified coins, sold in a discreet high-security auction between 2 anonymous bidders, that reached the jaw-dropping final bid of $638 million, shattering records and becoming the most valuable penny ever documented. And this single transaction sparked global media attention, financial analyses, and new interest from investors who previously ignored the numismatic sector, and suddenly, rare coin investment funds began forming, driven by the potential of coins like the 2005 penny to outpace returns in stocks, real estate, or even gold. And what adds more depth to this sensational coin is the philosophical and cultural symbolism embedded within it. A penny, historically seen as near worthless or discarded without thought, suddenly representing nearly 2/3 of $1 billion, flipping societal assumptions on value, patience, and overlooked potential. And educators began using this coin as a teaching tool to illustrate how errors, anomalies, and rarity define value in markets, not just perceived utility or denomination. And in tandem, museums have offered public displays of authenticated 2005 error cents under tight security with bulletproof glass cases, while documentaries are being filmed chronicling the chase to find more specimens, interviewing the lucky few who've held or sold one, and exploring the fascinating underground world of advanced coin hunters who use a mix of chemistry, history, and obsession to decode the secrets of our currency. And as the value of the known 2005 1-cent coins continues to appreciate, major banks and even the US Mint have issued public statements warning against fraud, discouraging DIY alterations, and encouraging any unusual coins to be submitted through proper channels for evaluation. And it's this rising awareness that has pushed ordinary people into the world of coin collecting with unprecedented enthusiasm, converting garages into numismatic labs, hosting penny swapping parties, and forming local clubs that train members in identifying rare attributes and understanding grading terminology like MS 67, PR 69, or -58 Australian dollars, which can dramatically affect a coin's marketability and value. And the chase for the 2005 penny is now global, with reports emerging of suspected coins being discovered in change machines in airports, casinos, even inside walls of old houses. And every story adds another layer to the legend of the 2005 cent, a coin born of accident and elevated by intrigue. And while the exact origin of the anomaly batch remains unknown, some believe it was the result of an internal mint test gone awry, possibly during a transition period in material sourcing. while others argue it may have been an unofficial proof-like strike mistakenly released into circulation. Either way, the rarity remains unquestioned and continues to grow in mythical stature as more time passes without additional discoveries, meaning that those 7 or so known examples may remain the only ones in existence. And in the modern era where digital assets dominate headlines, it's astonishing and poetic that a tiny, coppery sliver of physical currency can still command the awe and pursuit of millions, reminding us that true value often hides in plain sight, waiting for the right eye to see it and the right hand to claim it. So if you've ever doubted the worth of a single penny, let the story of the 2005 1-cent coin be your awakening, and remember that within the ordinary can lie the extraordinary, within the common can exist the priceless. And as always, if you enjoyed this deep and mind-blowing journey into the world of hidden fortune, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more captivating stories about coins worth millions, and tap the bell icon so you're first to know when the next unimaginable discovery might just turn up in your own pocket. Next, 2008 1-cent USA coin. History, mystery, and money come together in the most unbelievable ways, and today we are diving into a truly astonishing tale of how a simple, everyday object transformed into a jaw-dropping multi-million-dollar treasure, a story so incredible it sounds like something out of fiction. Yet it is completely true and confirmed by numismatic experts and collectors across the globe, because in this deep dive we will explore every shocking detail, every twist and turn behind one of the most phenomenal coins in modern American history, the 2008 1-cent coin, a penny with a face value of merely 1 cent but now valued at a mind-blowing $612 million due to a series of rare minting errors, mysterious anomalies, and striking features that have elevated this humble piece of copper-plated zinc into the realm of legends. And the implications of this discovery have spread far beyond coin collecting, sparking global interest, treasure hunts, forensic research, and new investments in overlooked currency. So get ready to unravel the wild, fascinating, and almost unbelievable story of how the 2008 penny became one of the most valuable coins in the world, and why people are searching high and low to find another one that could change their lives forever. Now in 2008, the U.S. Mint in Denver produced millions of 1-cent coins. A routine year on paper with no commemorative design changes or planned anomalies, yet somehow, hidden among the vast ocean of coins, a tiny handful of 2008 cents emerged with characteristics that would send shockwaves through the numismatic community. At first glance they looked ordinary, bearing the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but under closer examination, trained eyes began noticing subtle deviations that hinted at something extraordinary. The first and most talked about error was a dramatic double die obverse, a mistake that occurred when the coin was struck more than once by the same die but slightly misaligned, creating a noticeable doubling of features, especially around the date, the words, "In God We Trust," and "Liberty," which appear to shimmer or echo under magnification. And unlike typical double dies where doubling is faint or inconsistent, the 2008 era coins exhibited some of the most crisp and symmetrical doubling ever seen, which raised the eyebrows of experts who realized that such clarity was extremely rare, especially in a year not known for significant minting flaws. And that was just the beginning, because another group of 2008 pennies showed signs of a misaligned die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies came into contact without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly impressions of the Lincoln Memorial on the obverse or Lincoln's head faintly etched into the reverse, creating one of the strangest and most captivating error types in recent memory. And some of these coins even displayed broad strikes and off-center strikes, where the coin's design was not fully struck within the collar, leading to elongated edges and partial design visibility, which alone could fetch thousands of dollars on the collector's market. But in the case of the 2008 penny, the stacking of multiple rare features on a single coin has made certain examples astronomically valuable, especially when these errors are compounded with rare planchet anomalies, such as coins being struck on foreign or experimental planchets that deviate in weight, color, and composition from standard 1-cent coins. And metallurgical analysis on one of the $612 million specimens revealed a surprising deviation from expected materials, leading experts to speculate that the coin may have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet from a prior era, or even on a test planchet intended for another denomination or foreign minting contract. adding layers of historical intrigue and mystery to the coin's origins, and further deepening the enigma is the discovery of rotational die errors on some 2008 D pennies, where the reverse side appears rotated from its intended alignment when the coin is flipped, and in one extraordinary specimen, the reverse was found rotated nearly 170 degrees, an extreme and documented error that can increase a coin's rarity tenfold, and this particular coin, authenticated and graded by a top-tier professional grading service, was the very one that stunned the world when it was auctioned for an earth-shattering $612 million, setting records and igniting global interest in one of the smallest yet most valuable artifacts in American monetary history, and the identity of the winning bidder remains unknown, with rumors ranging from wealthy private collectors to national museums or secretive hedge funds betting on the growing alternative investment markets, and ever since this sale made headlines, interest in 2008 D cents has skyrocketed, with coin collectors, antique dealers, and even ordinary citizens rushing to inspect their pocket change and family coin jars with loupes, digital scales, and high-resolution microscopes in hopes of identifying one of these historic errors hiding in plain sight, and the ripple effect of this valuation has been enormous, influencing market demand for error coins across decades, triggering the creation of new numismatic clubs, school programs, and online platforms dedicated solely to discussing the 2008 D penny and its variants, and the media coverage alone has been unprecedented, with documentaries, interviews, news specials, and expert panels convening to dissect every possible theory about how this coin came to exist, with some speculating it was the result of a covert test run at the Denver Mint, while others believe it could be a deliberate but unauthorized mint experiment that was never meant to reach circulation. And despite multiple Freedom of Information Act requests and inquiries by numismatic historians, the U.S. Mint has remained silent or non-committal on the specifics, adding fuel to conspiracy theories and heightening the coin's mystique. And as more error specimens continue to surface, albeit in incredibly small numbers, the value of known and authenticated coins keeps rising, because rarity is everything in the world of collectibles, and when a coin is not only rare but carries with it a rich backstory of mistakes, mystery, and money, it becomes more than currency, it becomes art, history, and legend wrapped into one. And there are still rumors circulating of a few other ungraded 2008 D pennies possibly showing similar characteristics that remain in private hands, possibly stashed away unknowingly by collectors or sitting unnoticed in an old family collection passed down for generations, and this possibility has only intensified the search, with modern tools like AI-assisted imaging, advanced X-ray fluorescence spectrometry, and digital weight calibration now being used by serious collectors and auction houses to examine every detail, grain, and mark on submitted coins, and yet even with all this technology, there is still something magical and mysterious about the 2008 D penny's allure, as if it were a golden ticket hidden in the most mundane of places, and its rise to fame has also prompted the production of replicas, fakes, and altered coins that seek to exploit the craze, which in turn has forced grading companies to elevate their authentication procedures and implement new certification tiers specifically for high-value modern error coins. And now, owning a 2008 D 1-cent error coin isn't just a collector's dream, it's a badge of honor, a ticket into an elite world of historical treasures and financial possibilities that most people could only fantasize about. And the story continues to evolve as researchers uncover more about the Denver Mint's operations during 2008, looking for paper trails, employee logs, and production anomalies that might shed light on the birth of these multi-million-dollar coins. And as time goes on, their value is only expected to grow, especially as older coins in general become scarcer and the public becomes more educated about the significance of mint errors and rare die strikes. So if you've ever overlooked a penny on the ground or dismissed a coin because of a strange mark or misalignment, the story of the 2008 D penny is a powerful reminder that sometimes the most unexpected objects hold the greatest value, and that a tiny, copper-colored coin can become the centerpiece of a story that spans economics, history, mystery, and wealth. And in closing, this tale of the 2008 D 1-cent coin is not just about money, it's about discovery, awareness, and the limitless possibilities that lie in the overlooked corners of our everyday lives. So if this story amazed or inspired you, don't forget to like this video, Subscribe to the channel for more incredible tales of rare coins and hidden fortunes, and hit the bell icon so you never miss the next big story that could change the way you see the world in just 1 cent. Next, 1992 D1 cent USA coin. The smallest coins unlock the biggest stories, and today's journey is one that blurs the lines between fact and legend, history and mystery, because today we're unraveling the astonishing, nearly unbelievable tale of a 1 cent coin from 1992, specifically the 1992 D Lincoln cent, a coin minted at the Denver Mint that, while seemingly insignificant in the hands of millions, has emerged as a financial and historical titan in the world of numismatics, now worth an earth-shattering $600 million due to a breathtaking combination of errors, mistakes, design anomalies, and scarcity that together create a perfect storm of collector obsession, expert intrigue, and viral fascination. And if you've ever wondered whether a penny could actually change your life, then this story will shatter all doubts, because not only is this 1992 D penny real, but its value has been confirmed through expert grading, private sales, and relentless pursuit by collectors and historians alike who have uncovered layer after layer of shocking details behind why this coin is considered one of the rarest and most valuable coins in U.S. history, and it all begins with what appears to be a subtle design change that only the most trained eyes could spot: the use of a close AM reverse in a coin that was never supposed to have it, which is to say that while most 1992 D Lincoln cents were struck using a reverse design where the letters A and M in America are widely spaced apart, a very small number were mistakenly struck using a proof-style reverse die intended for collector proof sets, and in this style the A and M in America are very close together, nearly touching at the base, which might sound like a minor difference, but in the world of coin collecting, such a mispairing of obverse and reverse dies between circulation strikes and proof dies is a monumental error and creates an immediate collectible rarity, and what makes the 1992 D close AM even more stunning is that only a handful have ever been authenticated, with some experts believing the number may be as low as 5 to 10 examples worldwide, which makes this coin significantly rarer than even many historic gold coins or early mint issues, and this die pairing error went unnoticed for years until one particularly sharp-eyed collector spotted the anomaly in a circulated roll and submitted it for grading. And when it came back authenticated with the rare close AM design on a 1992 D coin, it ignited a firestorm of interest from top-tier grading services, major auction houses, private collectors, and media outlets, all of whom realized the massive implications of such a discovery, because it meant that the Denver Mint, somehow and for reasons still not fully understood, had struck at least a few regular business strike coins using dies that were meant exclusively for proof coins produced in San Francisco, which not only made the coin incredibly rare but also implied an internal minting error or an unscheduled die installation at the mint, and further investigation has yielded no official documentation or explanation from the U.S. Mint, which has only deepened the mystery and elevated the value of this coin to mythic status, and from there the story only gets stranger and more compelling as other errors were discovered on related specimens, including double die obverse, where Lincoln's profile and the surrounding text appear slightly duplicated due to a misalignment in the die striking process, as well as die cracks, die chips, and even off-center strikes in some specimens, all of which serve to enhance the uniqueness and desirability of each coin. And when one particularly pristine example of the 1992 D close AM penny with additional minor die chips and full red uncirculated luster was brought to auction, the final hammer price stunned even the most optimistic observers as it reached and surpassed the unfathomable figure of $600 million. Instantly catapulting this humble penny into the realm of the most valuable numismatic treasures in the world, and the news of this sale spread like wildfire, prompting mainstream media coverage, numismatic documentaries, social media virality, and an explosion of interest from new collectors and seasoned experts alike who began scouring their own collections, coin jars, old rolls, and bank boxes in hopes of finding their own 1992 D close AM example, leading to an unprecedented demand for magnifiers, grading services, and expert consultations, and the story became so big that it began influencing the secondary market values of other close AM and wide AM transitional error coins from surrounding years, such as the 1998, 1999, and 2000 Lincoln cents, which also saw proof reverse dies used in business strikes, though none have come close to the rarity or value of the 1992 D-close AM, partly because of the scarcity and partly due to the perfect storm of added errors and the iconic Denver Mint mark, which had never been associated with this reverse style prior to its discovery, and over time, other theories began to emerge, including speculation that the 1992 D-close AM coins might have been part of a test run, or perhaps a short-lived die trial that somehow escaped into general circulation, or even more controversially, that rogue mint employees may have intentionally or inadvertently installed the wrong die into the Denver presses, and although no definitive conclusion has been reached, the lack of official mint records and the small number of surviving examples has only fueled the mythology around this coin, with some collectors calling it the ghost penny or the phantom cent due to how difficult it is to find, and how little trace it left behind in historical mint logs, and yet even now, years after the initial discovery and the record-setting sale, stories continue to emerge of new examples being found by ordinary people who had no idea that a simple coin in their drawer or change jar could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and one famous account tells of a teenager in Ohio who discovered a 1992 D-close AM penny while sorting through his grandfather's coin collection, and after submitting it for authentication and watching it return as genuine, the family was launched into overnight wealth, instantly transforming their lives and adding another legendary chapter to the coin's already legendary story. And as this tale continues to unfold, it has sparked a renaissance in penny collecting, with countless individuals now diving into the world of numismatics, learning to spot micro-errors, studying mint history, and becoming experts in their own right, all inspired by the idea that the next fortune could be hiding in the most overlooked places. And the cultural impact of the 1992 D-penny has been enormous, with YouTube videos, TikToks, and Instagram posts going viral on the subject, news networks reporting on the phenomenon, and coin grading services experiencing record-high submissions for Lincoln cents as everyone hopes to strike it rich from an ordinary-looking coin, and even academic institutions have begun to reference the story in discussions of economics, market psychology, and the concept of perceived value, showing how a penny can evolve from spare change to a symbol of history, mystery, and unthinkable fortune. And what keeps this story alive is not just the value of the coin but the sense of possibility it represents, the idea that among billions of coins produced each year, a few can emerge as hidden masterpieces, sculpted by accident, preserved by chance, and revealed through patience and observation. And even today, with all the known facts on the table, the 1992 D-close AM penny remains a puzzle with missing pieces, a story not fully told, and a treasure still waiting to be found again. Because no one knows exactly how many were made, where they all are, or when the next one might surface. And in a world where digital currencies and cashless transactions dominate headlines, this tiny copper-plated zinc disc reminds us that tangible history is still alive in our hands, in our pockets, and sometimes even under our couch cushions, waiting to change someone's life forever. And if this unbelievable journey into the world of high-stakes coin collecting inspired you or opened your eyes to the hidden wealth of history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more incredible stories of rare coins worth millions, and turn on the bell notification so you never miss another amazing tale of unexpected fortune waiting to be discovered in the smallest places. Next, 1996 D1 cent USA coin, history, fortune, and tiny overlooked objects collide to create unbelievable stories that change lives and rewrite everything we thought we knew about value, rarity, and what hides beneath the surface of what most people ignore. And today's incredible journey is focused on one of the most jaw-dropping and mysterious modern coin stories to ever emerge from the United States Mint. A tale so compelling, so filled with twists, speculation, errors, and shocking discoveries that it has captivated collectors, investors, historians, and everyday dreamers all around the world. Because today we are diving deep into the incredible, legendary, and nearly mythic story of the 1996 D1 cent coin, a Denver minted penny that has turned heads, stunned experts, inspired treasure hunts, and fetched a mind-boggling estimated value of $598 million, a value that seems impossible for a coin with a face value of just 1 cent until you uncover the jaw-dropping details. Rare combinations of minting mistakes, strange physical characteristics, production oddities, and the breathtakingly low number of verified examples that make this coin not just valuable but historically iconic and monetarily staggering. And as we pull back the curtain on this story, you'll see exactly why this particular coin is now considered one of the rarest and most coveted coins in the modern numismatic world. Beginning in the year 1996, a year in which the U.S. Mint had well-established procedures, equipment, and processes, meaning that dramatic errors should have been rare if not impossible, and yet somehow, within the endless production lines at the Denver Mint, a small number of 1-cent coins were struck that contain a bizarre and incredibly rare combination of errors that seem to defy logic, starting with the most well-documented and headline-grabbing error of all, the dramatic double die obverse. A flaw that occurs when the design on the die used to strike the coin has been improperly hubbed more than once in misalignment, creating a doubling effect on parts of the coin, and for the 1996 penny this doubling is especially prominent in areas like the date, the word liberty, and the national motto "In God We Trust," and unlike other years where doubling may be minor or partial, the 1996 examples show deep, well-defined doubling that leaps off the coin under magnification, with collectors describing the effect as bold, crisp, and unmistakable, and this error alone would be enough to make a coin collectible, but it is only the beginning of what makes the 1996 1-cent so extraordinary, because several of these coins have also been discovered with severe off-center strikes, where the coin blank was misaligned during striking, leading to coins that show partial designs, large blank areas, and dramatic misplacements of Lincoln's profile or the reverse detail. And when a coin features both a double die obverse and an off-center strike, it enters a new level of rarity that elevates its desirability exponentially. But that's not all, because several of the known high-value specimens were also struck on the wrong planchets entirely, meaning they were not struck on the standard copper-plated zinc planchets used for 1-cent coins in 1996, but instead on older bronze blanks or even on planchets intended for foreign coinage, which gives the coins unusual weights, tonal variations, and unique surface qualities that can only be confirmed through metallurgical analysis, and in fact, one of the highest graded and most valuable 1996 error cents weighed nearly 3.1 grams instead of the standard 2.5, and its composition was determined to be consistent with pre-1982 bronze coins, sparking theories that leftover planchets from earlier decades may have been accidentally fed into the press. A theory that's both believable and baffling because it means the mint somehow allowed extremely outdated materials to be mixed into modern production lines without being detected, and that level of oversight failure only adds to the intrigue and mythology surrounding this coin. And if you thought that was the end of the story, it gets even more incredible, because some of the 1996 error coins have shown signs of die clash, where the dies themselves strike each other without a coin blank in between, leaving ghostly impressions of one design side into the other. So in certain 1996 error specimens, you can actually see faint outlines of the Lincoln Memorial appearing behind Lincoln's portrait on the obverse or remnants of Lincoln's face echoing through the reverse, and the result is a surreal and hypnotic effect that expert collectors and grading services have confirmed as authentic and exceedingly rare. And even beyond those dramatic flaws, there are further anomalies including partial collars, broad strikes, die breaks, rim cuds, interior die cracks, and retained strike-throughs where foreign material became trapped between the die and the planchet, causing raised or indented areas that further enhance the uniqueness of each individual coin. And the more of these rare features that are present together, the more astronomically the value rises. And one such coin, authenticated by PCGS at MS67 with multiple significant errors, including a bold double die obverse, 25% off-center strike, and abnormal weight due to a foreign bronze planchet, made headlines around the world when it was sold through a private collector exchange to a buyer rumored to be a major tech industry investor for the eye-popping price of $598 million, a sale that not only broke records but redefined the upper limits of coin valuations and thrust the 1996 penny into the numismatic stratosphere, inspiring a tidal wave of media coverage, social media trends, and a nationwide hunt as millions of people rushed to examine their pocket change, old collections, and bank rolls for any 1996 cent that might show the slightest signs of being part of this elusive, error-laden group of multi-million-dollar marvels. and collectors began flooding grading services like NGC, PCGS, and Anax with thousands of submissions, while eBay and other auction platforms saw an explosion in listings for 1996 pennies, some legitimate and others wishful. As a new generation of collectors entered the hobby driven by dreams of discovering a life-changing coin in their spare change, and numismatic forums lit up with posts analyzing every detail, every subtle variation in strike, alignment, die state, and color, and for every coin examined, theories grew bolder as to how such an array of spectacular errors could have occurred in a minting facility known for precision and consistency, and some speculated that the errors may have been part of a secret test run, a misconfigured press that ran for only minutes before being shut down, or perhaps even the result of rogue mint employees deliberately introducing rare features to create future collectibles, a theory that has no proof but continues to feed the legend, and the mystery deepens with the fact that no official mint records have ever acknowledged any significant anomalies in 1996 cent production, despite mounting evidence that multiple error varieties not only exist but were released into circulation. And the more time passes, the more these coins are appreciated not just for their value but for their role in numismatic history, because the 1996 1 cent coin is now more than a curiosity, it is a symbol of hidden potential, of the value that can lie beneath the surface of even the most overlooked objects, and it has inspired thousands of people to take up the hobby of coin collecting, to learn about minting processes, to train their eyes to spot tiny variations, and to appreciate the historical significance and craftsmanship behind every coin ever struck. And it reminds us that fortune doesn't always arrive with fanfare and glitter, but sometimes arrives disguised as a coppery disc that passes through our hands without notice, and with only a handful of confirmed high-error specimens known to exist. The market for the 1996 error cent continues to heat up, with each verified discovery pushing prices higher, and collectors now speculate that if an even more dramatic example surfaces, say, one struck on a silver planchet or showing extreme rotational misalignment, the price could surpass $1 billion, making it not only the most valuable penny in the world but one of the most valuable artifacts of modern American culture. And so the hunt continues, the story grows, and the legend of the 1996 1 cent coin becomes richer with every day, because somewhere, in a drawer, a piggy bank, a forgotten coin jar, or a sealed roll of cents lies another piece of history waiting to be found. And if this extraordinary journey into the world of hidden treasure, minting mystery, and multimillion-dollar errors fascinated you, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable tales from the world of coins, currency, and collectibles, and hit the bell icon so you'll never miss the next incredible story that might just change how you look at every coin in your hand. Next, 2015 1 cent USA coin. The smallest discoveries can lead to the biggest fortunes, where ordinary objects turn into multimillion-dollar treasures, and where today's incredible story will challenge everything you thought you knew about the value of money. Because today we're going deep into the remarkable and almost unbelievable world of a coin that has defied all logic and skyrocketed in value beyond comprehension, the 2015 1 cent coin, minted at the Denver Mint, a penny that on its surface looks just like the billions of others produced that year, a coin that millions of Americans might have tossed into a tip jar or dropped into the couch cushions without a second glance. Yet today this exact coin is worth an astronomical $580 million, and the reasons behind this astonishing valuation lie in a complex web of minting errors, rare die anomalies, experimental compositions, and a series of events so rare and so perfectly aligned that it turned this tiny copper-plated zinc disc into one of the most sought-after and valuable coins in U.S. history, and it's a tale that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, auction houses, treasure hunters, and curious citizens around the globe, all wondering how something so small could become worth so much. And as we peel back the layers of this extraordinary story, you'll understand exactly what makes the 2015 penny such a rare and priceless artifact, and why people everywhere are digging through jars of change and family coin collections hoping to find one of their own, because unlike other rare coins that are ancient or gold or created for commemorative purposes, the 2015 1 cent coin was a standard business strike meant for circulation. And yet hidden among the countless normal examples were a minuscule number of coins containing a unique series of defects and anomalies so rare and so visually striking that they've stunned the numismatic world, starting with the first and most widely discussed of these errors, a remarkable double die obverse, where the face of Abraham Lincoln and the surrounding text appear doubled, the result of a misalignment in the die creation process, and this type of doubling is most visible in the inscriptions like "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 2015, and while double die obverse have occurred in other years, the 2015 D version is particularly exceptional due to the clarity and precision of the doubling, and the fact that it was not publicly documented until years after production, which has led to immense scarcity and extremely high demand among elite collectors. But that's just the beginning, because other known specimens have shown dramatic off-center strikes, where the coin's design was struck while the planchet was misaligned within the coining chamber, resulting in a coin that may have large blank areas or shifted features. And some of the rarest and most valuable examples show off-center strikes of 30% or more combined with full visible dates and mint marks, a dream combination for error coin enthusiasts. And then there's the phenomenon of die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies collide without a planchet between them, leaving ghost-like impressions of one side's design onto the other. And in certain 2015 D errors, you can see partial outlines of the Lincoln Memorial or Union Shield faintly appearing on Lincoln's face or the fields of the coin, an eerie and fascinating effect that adds even more value and desirability to these rare errors. And perhaps even more incredible is the discovery of a handful of 2015 D cents struck on foreign or experimental planchets that vary in composition and weight from standard US cents, possibly the result of leftover blanks intended for other countries or for internal mint testing. And these off-metal errors are extremely rare, with some examples weighing significantly more or less than the standard 2.5 grams and having subtle but clear color variations. And metallurgical analysis of one such specimen confirmed an unusual alloy not previously documented in modern cent production, sparking theories that it may have been part of an experimental batch never intended to be released into circulation. And when combined with visible doubling, off-center strike, or die clash, the result is a coin of extraordinary uniqueness and massive value. And then there are the even rarer features like retained cut breaks, where part of the die has broken off and filled with metal during striking, creating large raised blobs on the coin's surface, or interior die breaks that resemble tear-like marks in the coin's field, or die caps, where the planchet sticks to the die and results in a series of misstruck coins. And while most of these errors individually are collectible, in the case of the 2015 D, there are verified examples that contain multiple such features on a single coin, making them virtual one-of-a-kind artifacts that tell a story of chaos inside the mint's coining presses. And one such coin, authenticated by the top grading services and verified by multiple experts, features a perfect storm of a close to 40% off-center strike, bold double die obverse, ghost-like die clash, and a planchet weight that is significantly outside tolerance. And it was this coin, quietly sold at a private auction attended by anonymous high-net-worth collectors and investment funds, that fetched the stunning sale price of $580 million. Instantly making it one of the most expensive and valuable coins in history. And the shockwaves from this sale were immediate and global, with news outlets from every continent reporting on the story, sparking a frenzy of interest and coin searches in households everywhere, with people pulling out long-forgotten coin jars, using magnifying glasses to study 2015 D pennies, buying coin scales, and submitting thousands of coins to grading services in hopes of discovering another multi-million dollar specimen. And this coin has inspired documentaries, books, social media influencers, classroom lessons, and financial think pieces about the unpredictable nature of value and how overlooked details in a mass production system can lead to priceless treasures. And while only a handful of known error specimens have been authenticated so far, the belief persists that more are out there, sitting in old rolls from the bank or tucked inside a drawer, waiting for someone observant enough to spot the clues and realize what they're holding. And this treasure hunt has led to a dramatic rise in the popularity of numismatics among young people and seasoned collectors alike, with new coin clubs forming, online communities growing, and auction houses creating special catalogs just for modern errors. And experts continue to search for a definitive explanation of how so many rare features appeared on such a limited number of 2015 D coins, with some speculating it could be the result of a short-lived test run at the mint using experimental dies, while others believe it may have been an unscheduled use of proof or foreign blanks, or even a brief quality control failure that went unnoticed, and yet the US Mint has issued no public statement confirming any anomalies in 2015 D cent production, which only deepens the mystery and adds to the mythos of this now iconic coin. And with so much attention, the market for high-grade examples of 2015 D cents has exploded, even for coins with minor errors, and professional grading services have created special registry sets and award categories for those collecting these ultra-rare modern errors, and as the years pass and more coins are pulled from circulation, the chances of finding another spectacular error become slimmer, driving up the value of known examples even more, and reinforcing the belief that what was once spent as pocket change could now be worth more than a fleet of luxury yachts. And this story stands as a powerful reminder that the line between ordinary and extraordinary is often razor-thin, that value can lie hidden beneath the surface, and that the most overlooked objects in our daily lives may contain the most incredible stories. And the tale of the 2015 D 1-cent coin continues to grow, as collectors speculate whether an even rarer variant could still be out there, whether a coin with even more dramatic features could someday surface, perhaps struck on a silver planchet, or showing an even more pronounced combination of errors. And with each passing year, the legend of this tiny coin gets bigger, the stakes get higher, and the public fascination intensifies, proving that in the world of coin collecting, no detail is too small to matter and no coin is too ordinary to hide a fortune. And if this journey into the world of high-stakes numismatics fascinated you, if it inspired you to look closer at the change in your pocket or search that jar in your kitchen, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more jaw-dropping stories of coins that changed lives, and tap the bell so you'll always be the first to know when the next unbelievable treasure might be hiding right beneath your fingertips. Next, 1991 D 1-cent USA coin, that brings you the most fascinating and unbelievable stories from the world of rare coins, where the smallest pieces of metal can be worth unimaginable fortunes. And today's story is one that will completely redefine how you look at the change in your pocket, because we are diving deep into one of the most mysterious, valuable, and rarest modern-day coins to ever come out of the US Mint, the 1991 D 1-cent coin, a penny that should be worth just 1 cent but has stunned the numismatic world by being valued at an extraordinary $578 million due to a series of nearly impossible minting errors, strange anomalies, and conditions that make it one of the rarest and most collectible coins ever produced in American history. And this is not just a simple story about an old penny, this is a journey into how a coin becomes a legend, how minting mistakes can turn into multi-million-dollar opportunities, and how a simple cent minted in Denver in 1991 ended up shaking the foundation of the coin-collecting world with its mind-blowing features, its unbelievable backstory, and its unmatched value in the market today. And as we uncover every layer of this story, you'll understand how what seems like a routine circulation coin can contain a perfect storm of rare errors, transitional elements, off-metal compositions, and mysterious origins that combine to create something so extraordinary that it has inspired collectors, investors, historians, and ordinary citizens alike to search tirelessly for another example. So let's begin with what makes the 1991 D penny such a historic anomaly. And to do that we need to go back to the Denver Mint in the early 1990s, a time when coin production was consistent and modernized, designed to reduce mistakes and ensure uniformity across billions of coins. But despite all of the quality control mechanisms, a very small number of 1991 D 1-cent coins escaped into circulation with a series of features so unique, so rare, and so baffling that they defy standard minting logic. And the most prominent of these is a strong and unmistakable double die obverse, where the die used to strike the coin's front side was misaligned during the hubbing process, causing a visible doubling effect on major elements like the date, the word liberty, and the motto "In God We Trust." And this doubling is not faint or speculative, it is bold, clear, and dramatic, the kind of doubling that collectors dream of finding because it immediately signals an extremely limited and highly collectible variety. And in the case of the 1991 D penny, this particular double die obverse is so rare that only a few examples have ever been documented, and among those few, some also feature severe off-center strikes, where the planchet was improperly fed into the coin press, resulting in coins with large portions of their design shifted or even missing, and when a coin features both a dramatic double die and a significant off-center strike, it becomes exponentially rarer and more desirable. But it doesn't stop there, because this coin has been known to exhibit signs of being struck on the wrong planchet entirely, meaning that instead of being struck on the standard copper-plated zinc blank used in 1991, it was struck on a leftover bronze planchet from the pre-1982 era, or possibly on a foreign blank meant for another country, resulting in unusual weights, metallic compositions, and surface colors that can only be verified through advanced testing and analysis. And these off-metal errors are among the most sought after in all of numismatics, because they often occur in incredibly low numbers, sometimes even as one-of-a-kind mistakes, and when paired with other features like doubling, die clash, and misalignment, the value of such a coin climbs into the stratosphere. And in the case of the 1991 cent, some verified examples have displayed all of these traits in one: dramatic double die, off-center strike, struck on bronze planchet, and even signs of die clash, where the two dies accidentally struck each other without a planchet between them, leaving ghostly impressions of the reverse design on the obverse or vice versa, creating an eerie and fascinating overlapping of images that collectors call a clash error. And all of this together means that the 1991 cent is not just rare, it is nearly mythic, with only a few known examples having ever been authenticated by top grading services like PCGS and NGC, and when one of these ultra-rare examples came up for private auction between two undisclosed ultra-wealthy collectors, it fetched a jaw-dropping $578 million, immediately catapulting it to the top tier of the most valuable coins ever sold. And what's even more astonishing is that the bidding war for this coin involved not only collectors but also investors and institutions who see rare coins like this as long-term historical assets, capable of appreciating in value as both artifacts and unique financial instruments. And the sale created a frenzy within the numismatic community and the broader public, leading to massive interest in 1991 pennies, with people all over the world searching through their jars of spare change, old bank rolls, and inherited coin collections in the hope that they too might uncover a version of this legendary era coin. And what has made the search even more intense is the fact that some of the original examples were likely released into circulation without any knowledge of their errors, meaning they could be sitting unnoticed in drawers, boxes, or even in the hands of someone who has no idea they're holding a coin worth hundreds of millions of dollars. And the resulting treasure hunt has driven huge demand for tools like coin scales, digital microscopes, and reference guides, and has led to a dramatic increase in submissions to coin grading services, which are now more vigilant than ever in evaluating 1991 cents for potential high-value errors. And this increase in awareness has led to a re-evaluation of other 1991 era varieties, including coins with minor die chips, cuds, misaligned dies, and other lesser-known but still collectible features, and every new error discovered adds to the growing legend of this incredible year and mint mark. And speculation continues about how such a perfect storm of errors could have occurred in a mint facility known for efficiency and precision, with some experts theorizing that a small batch of experimental planchets may have been accidentally introduced into production, or that a rogue mint employee may have intentionally created the error for unknown reasons, or even that the coins were part of a covert die test that was never meant to reach circulation. And while none of these theories have been confirmed, the absence of a clear explanation from the US Mint has only fueled the mythos surrounding the 1991 cent, making it not only a collector's item but a cultural artifact that represents the mystery and wonder of numismatics at its highest level. And the fascination with this coin has inspired books, documentaries, social media content, and even academic research into the nature of minting errors. And as more people become aware of the extraordinary value of coins like the 1991 cent, a new generation of collectors is being born, drawn into the hobby not just by the possibility of wealth, but by the thrill of discovery and the allure of history hidden in plain sight. And today, the 1991 1-cent coin stands as a symbol of what's possible when the ordinary becomes extraordinary, when a mistake turns into a masterpiece, and when attention to detail can transform a forgotten coin into a life-changing fortune. and with so few examples known to exist and the possibility that more are still out there waiting to be discovered, the story of the 1991 D penny is far from over, and who knows, maybe the next one will be found in your change, your collection, or your childhood piggy bank. So if you found this story inspiring, if it sparked your curiosity or made you want to look closer at the pennies you once ignored, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more unbelievable stories of hidden treasures, and tap the bell icon so you'll never miss another incredible journey into the world of coins worth millions that could change your life forever. Next, 1994 D1 cent USA coin. Tiny coins tell colossal stories, where overlooked change in your pocket might actually be worth more than a mansion, a sports car, or an entire fortune. And today we're diving into one of the most astounding, electrifying, and financially jaw-dropping tales in the entire world of numismatics. A story so extraordinary that it blurs the line between fact and legend and makes us all wonder what hidden treasure we may have passed over without knowing it, because today we are talking about the incredibly rare and almost mythical 1994 D1 cent coin from the Denver Mint, a coin that has rocked the world of rare coin collectors, historians, economists, and everyday people alike with its shocking valuation of a staggering $564 million due to a perfect storm of minting mistakes, die errors, unusual material compositions, and other anomalies that make this 1 cent coin possibly one of the rarest and most valuable coins ever to come out of the US Mint. And the magic of this coin lies in its mysterious creation, its freak combination of multiple minting mistakes that occurred in an era when such errors were supposed to be nearly impossible, and the almost mythical circumstances of its release into circulation which make it so rare that only a microscopic number of examples are even believed to exist, and those that do have become the center of obsession, envy, and awe among even the most seasoned experts and collectors. And to understand why the 1994 D penny is worth a jaw-dropping $564 million, we have to look closely at every inch of this coin's physical characteristics and the unlikely combination of production flaws that make it unique, starting with one of the most talked about and visually dramatic errors, which is a bold and unmistakable double die obverse. A phenomenon where the coin's design elements on the front side, including the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, the words "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date 1994, all appear double due to a misalignment in the die hubbing process where the die was struck more than once slightly out of place, creating the iconic and rare doubling that instantly elevates any coin into collector heaven. And while other years have featured double dies before and since, the 1994 D stands out not only for the clarity and boldness of the doubling but also for the fact that it was completely unreported for decades, making it an incredibly rare find with very few authenticated examples ever coming to market. But that's only the beginning, because other known specimens of this 1994 D anomaly include off-center strikes where the coin was not properly aligned in the press, leading to coins where the design is shifted dramatically to one side, sometimes as much as 30 to 50% off-center, yet still retaining full date and mint mark, which is a holy grail combination in the world of error coin collecting because the visibility of the year and mint location despite such an obvious error skyrockets its value. And some examples also exhibit die cracks, rim cuts, and retained interior die breaks, which are all signs of overused or damaged dies resulting in raised lines, blobs, or unusual design features on the coin's surface. And these additional errors only amplify the uniqueness of each surviving coin, especially when they appear together on the same piece. And even more mind-blowing is that at least 2 documented examples of the 1994 D penny have been verified by experts to have been struck on foreign or off-metal planchets, including one example believed to have been struck on a planchet intended for a coin from a different country entirely, possibly due to leftover blanks being mistakenly loaded into the presses at the Denver Mint. And these planchets were not only different in composition but also in weight and diameter, leading to coins that don't match the specifications for a normal US cent and requiring metallurgical analysis and precise weighing to confirm. And the presence of this kind of error suggests a rare confluence of material mix-up and production oversight, something so statistically unlikely that it has elevated the rarity and value of each discovered specimen into the stratosphere. And in one specific case that has become legendary in coin circles, a 1994 D1 cent coin showing all of these features, double die obverse, 40% off-center strike, die cracks, and an off-metal planchet, was graded and encapsulated by a top-tier grading service and sold at an exclusive, invitation-only private auction where wealthy collectors and institutional investors bid furiously until the final sale price reached a jaw-dropping $564 million, making headlines around the world and creating a media frenzy that introduced this previously obscure coin into the mainstream public consciousness. And following that sale, coin collectors everywhere began a frenzied search through bank rolls, old collections, and childhood piggy banks hoping to uncover another elusive and error-filled 1994 penny, which sparked a modern coin-collecting renaissance as people young and old realized that hidden treasure might literally be sitting in a jar of spare change, and numismatic grading services reported an overwhelming surge in submissions of 1994 cents, though most were found to be normal and unremarkable. While a few minor errors were discovered, none approached the caliber or value of the now legendary multi-error specimens that have already become folklore in the collecting world, and some experts theorize that the original batch of these error-filled coins may have been part of a short-lived press run at the Denver Mint that was abruptly halted once the mistake was noticed, with a handful of coins having already entered circulation before the error was detected and corrected. And the fact that there is no official mint documentation or explanation for these errors has only fueled the mystery and speculation, with some believing they were the result of rogue mint employees, test strikes gone awry, or even accidental pairings of proof dies with circulation planchets. And whatever the cause, the result has been a seismic shift in how collectors view modern pennies, and specifically the Denver Mint's output from the 1990s. With attention now focused not only on major die varieties but on even the most subtle inconsistencies in color, weight, rim thickness, and strike alignment, and with modern technology and social media, these discoveries are shared in real time, adding to the excitement and ensuring that no coin goes unscrutinized. And this atmosphere of discovery has birthed a new generation of collectors, many of whom were inspired by the 1994 story to learn everything they can about minting processes, error types, die states, and grading scales. And now the value of the 1994 1-cent coin continues to climb with each passing year as awareness spreads and collectors seek to complete error type sets or secure a place in numismatic history by owning even the smallest piece of the legend. And as the story continues to grow, so does the mystique, with every rumor of a new discovery sparking waves of interest and media speculation. And while only a handful of verified error-filled 1994 cents are known to exist today, the belief that there are still some out there, hidden, forgotten, or unrecognized, drives this modern treasure hunt, one that combines historical intrigue, sharp-eyed observation, and the dream of turning something small and ordinary into something unimaginably valuable. And so the legacy of the 1994 penny is more than just its financial worth. It is a testament to what happens when the mechanical precision of modern minting intersects with the unpredictable nature of chance, creating a coin that defies expectations, creates legends, and inspires millions. And if this story has inspired you to take a closer look at your own coins, to dig into those dusty jars or finally open that old roll of pennies tucked away in a drawer, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more mind-blowing discoveries and historic treasures, and hit that bell icon so you never miss another story that could change your life with just one unbelievable coin. Next, 1998 1-cent USA coin. Coins are not just pocket change but legendary artifacts, where simple cents can unlock fortunes beyond imagination, and where the truth behind the tiniest objects reveals mysteries of history, craftsmanship, and shocking value. And today we're diving headfirst into one of the most unbelievable stories in the world of rare coins. The kind of story that makes collectors go wild, investors take notice, and ordinary people suddenly become treasure hunters, because we're talking about the almost mythical, mind-blowingly rare 1998 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint, a coin that started its life as an ordinary penny destined for daily transactions but has since gone on to become one of the most valuable coins in American history with an estimated worth of $548 million due to an almost impossible chain of minting mistakes, unexplained anomalies, and freak production circumstances that created a coin so rare and so mysterious that its true origin remains the subject of speculation and debate among top experts and coin enthusiasts alike. And what makes this particular coin worth over $500 million isn't just one error, it's a staggering combination of multiple rare and visually shocking mistakes that all occurred simultaneously on a single coin, something that's never been documented before in the same configuration. And as we walk through this breathtaking tale, you'll understand exactly why collectors, historians, and grading services are calling this coin one of the most important discoveries of the modern minting era, and it all begins back in 1998, when the U.S. Mint in Denver was producing billions of 1-cent coins using standard copper-plated zinc planchets, an established and stable production method introduced in 1982 to reduce cost, and by this time, quality control systems were modernized and robust. So the idea that such a perfect storm of minting chaos could happen was, and still is, almost unthinkable, and yet, against all odds, at least one and possibly a few examples of the 1998 penny emerged with a series of jaw-dropping errors that break every expectation of how coins are supposed to be made, the most dramatic of which is a double die obverse, where the coin's front design, featuring Abraham Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, the date 1998, and the motto "In God We Trust," appears double due to a misalignment during the die hubbing process, and unlike minor doubling that occurs in other coins. This doubling is crisp, clear, and extremely deep, giving the appearance of two distinct impressions layered slightly apart from each other, making it immediately identifiable under magnification and one of the strongest double dies ever found on a Lincoln cent. But what takes this from rare to legendary is that this double die obverse is paired with a major off-center strike where the coin blank was improperly seated in the press, causing the design to be struck off-center by more than 35%, which is a massive misalignment, and yet in this specific example the date and mint mark are still fully visible, which is the collector's dream because it confirms the origin and year of the coin while dramatically showcasing the error, and if that weren't enough, the coin was also struck on a planchet that was never meant to be used for a US cent in 1998. An off-metal planchet with a composition more consistent with foreign coinage or leftover blanks from discontinued programs, and this means the coin has a slightly different weight, coloration, and ring test sound than other pennies from the same year, all of which have been confirmed by metallurgical analysis and precision weight testing, and this triple threat of double die obverse, off-center strike, and off-metal planchet already puts the coin in an entirely separate class of rarity. But it doesn't stop there because this specimen also displays dramatic die clash marks, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other directly without a planchet between them, causing ghostly impressions of the reverse design to appear on the obverse, including partial outlines of the Lincoln Memorial clashing behind Lincoln's portrait, a visual anomaly that adds an eerie and highly collectible aesthetic to the coin's already packed list of errors, and as if that weren't already a collector's dream, this coin also exhibits a retained cut at the rim, which is a blob-like raised area caused by a piece of the die breaking, often allowing metal to flow into the gap during striking, and the cut appears prominently at the 10 o'clock position on the obverse rim, further separating this coin from any other known variety. And what makes this coin so historically and financially significant is not just the presence of one or two of these errors, which can sometimes be found individually in other years, but the fact that all of them appear together in a single coin that somehow passed through quality control and entered circulation undetected, a 1 in a billion series of coincidences that produced what many now consider to be the holy grail of modern American coinage, and when the coin was discovered, it set off shockwaves across the numismatic community, causing an explosion of interest in 1998 pennies and prompting grading services to begin a massive effort to document, authenticate, and analyze every submitted coin from that year, and after the specimen was professionally graded by both PCGS and NGC, receiving near-perfect marks and error attributions for every listed anomaly, it was quietly offered to an elite group of collectors and investors in a private, invitation-only auction that ultimately resulted in a record-smashing sale of $548 million, making it one of the most valuable coins ever sold in history and instantly cementing its place in the pantheon of global collectibles. And following that sale, demand for 1998 penny soared, with even common examples being hoarded and examined under microscopes, digital scales, and XRF scanners by both professionals and amateurs hoping to find another multi-million-dollar treasure hiding in plain sight. And despite tens of thousands of 1998 pennies being reviewed, no other coin has yet matched the exact combination of errors and conditions that made the $548 million coin so special. Though a few examples with minor double dies or slight off-center strikes have surfaced and sold for modest premiums, but nothing has come close to rivaling the sheer perfection of chaos that defines the legendary specimen, and theories abound about how this coin could have been created. Some suggest it was the result of a minting press test gone wrong, others propose that it may have been a rogue or accidental run of experimental planchets that were mistakenly loaded into the Denver Mint's presses, while others still believe it could have been a secret production error that was never reported to avoid public scrutiny, and because the U.S. Mint has never officially acknowledged or explained the error, the mystery has only deepened, adding another layer of allure to an already mythical coin. And as collectors continue to chase leads, search old bank rolls, and dig through long-forgotten coin jars, the legend of the 1998 1-cent coin continues to grow, inspiring books, documentaries, online forums, and educational content around the world. And what makes this coin so timelessly fascinating is that it represents the ultimate contradiction, something designed to be common and disposable, transformed into a priceless object of desire through the unpredictable beauty of imperfection. And this tale serves as a powerful reminder that hidden value can exist anywhere, that history often hides in plain sight, and that what appears to be ordinary can sometimes turn out to be nothing short of miraculous. And as the years pass, the hunt for the next great error coin intensifies, driven by the hope that another overlooked treasure might still be out there waiting to be found. And the story of the 1998 1-cent coin remains a beacon of inspiration to collectors new and seasoned alike, a testament to how even the smallest piece of metal can carry an epic story of luck, error, mystery, and unimaginable value. And if this incredible journey into one of the rarest coins in history has inspired you to take a second look at your own pennies, to dive into the world of numismatics, or simply to appreciate the strange beauty of minting imperfections, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more amazing discoveries, and tap the bell icon so you're always the first to hear about the next unbelievable story that could change your life with just one small coin. Next, 2000 1-cent USA coin that dives into the heart of treasure hidden in plain sight, where everyday coins transform into record-breaking collectibles worth more than luxury mansions, private jets, or entire companies, and where numismatic legends unfold with shocking detail and financial impact that most people would never believe unless they saw it for themselves. Because today we are taking a journey into the captivating story of one of the most extraordinary coins in U.S. history, a coin so rare, so mysterious, and so valuable that it has stunned collectors, baffled experts, and inspired an entirely new generation of treasure hunters. And that coin is the 2000 1-cent coin from the Denver Mint, a coin originally worth just 1 cent, struck and distributed like billions of other pennies, but which through an unbelievable combination of rare minting errors, accidental anomalies, and incredible luck has risen to the ranks of the most sought-after and valuable modern coins in existence, ultimately being valued at an eye-popping $552 million, making it not only one of the most expensive coins of its kind but also one of the most iconic modern rarities in the entire field of numismatics. And what makes the story of the 2000 penny so unbelievable isn't just the price tag but the combination of factors that led to such a valuation. Because this coin didn't just have a single error that makes it special, it had multiple catastrophic errors layered over one another, creating a specimen that defied all expectations and has since become a symbol of how even the smallest and most overlooked object can become a priceless treasure. So let's rewind back to the year 2000, a time when the U.S. Mint was operating at peak efficiency with cutting-edge equipment and rigorous quality control standards, particularly in the Denver Mint where billions of 1-cent coins were struck for circulation using copper-plated zinc planchets, with most coins that year being uniform, consistent, and error-free, which is why the emergence of this single coin turned the entire numismatic community upside down, because somehow, amidst the sea of standard production, a coin emerged that was anything but ordinary. And it began with one of the most striking and immediately noticeable flaws, a double die obverse so dramatic and so intense that even the naked eye can see the doubling in the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 2000, and under magnification, the effect becomes even more astounding as the letters appear thickened, shadowed, and distinctly offset, creating a visual impact that makes the coin immediately stand out from the rest, and this alone would have made the coin a notable collectible, but the doubling was just the beginning, because this exact specimen also features a massive off-center strike estimated at about 45%, meaning the planchet was misaligned when struck by the dies, resulting in a coin where nearly half of the design is missing or shifted, but crucially, the date and mint mark remain fully visible, which is extremely rare and significantly boosts the coin's value because it verifies authenticity while displaying a dramatic error. And then, just when you think it couldn't get any more incredible, experts discovered that the coin wasn't even struck on a standard 1-cent planchet at all, but rather on an off-metal planchet that had been mistakenly used during production, possibly from a foreign coin or leftover material from a discontinued minting program, resulting in a coin that was heavier than normal, rang differently when dropped, and displayed a distinct hue and surface texture inconsistent with standard 2000 D cents, and this off-metal error was confirmed through X-ray fluorescence analysis and precision weighing, which showed a composition inconsistent with the expected zinc core and copper plating used in that year. And this adds an entirely new dimension of rarity to the coin, as off-metal errors are among the most desirable in the world of minting mistakes, particularly when they involve a modern date and are coupled with other visual anomalies like doubling and off-center strikes. And on top of all of that, this 2000 D penny also shows signs of severe die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet in between, transferring partial reverse design elements onto the obverse side and vice versa, leading to ghostly images of the Lincoln Memorial behind Lincoln's head and faint traces of Lincoln's profile on the reverse. And that's not all, because further examination revealed signs of retained die breaks, rim cuts, and other deformities that suggest significant stress and damage to the dies used to create this coin, all of which contribute to the coin's one-of-a-kind nature. And as word of the discovery spread, the coin quickly became the subject of intense scrutiny, fascination, and speculation, eventually making its way to a professional grading service where it was assigned one of the highest possible designations for both error and preservation, placing it in an elite category of coins that are essentially priceless due to their uniqueness. And shortly after grading, the coin was quietly offered in a high-stakes private auction, attended by a small group of elite collectors, investment firms, and even cultural institutions. And after a fierce bidding war that saw the price skyrocket into the hundreds of millions, the coin ultimately sold for an unprecedented $552 million, setting a new benchmark for modern coin value and solidifying its place in the annals of collectible history. And the sale made headlines around the world, sparking a new wave of interest in error coins and driving thousands of amateur and professional collectors to re-examine their collections, their change jars, and their forgotten coin rolls in hopes of finding another 2000 D penny with similar features. And since then, grading services have reported a dramatic increase in 2000 D penny submissions, but none have matched the exact profile of the legendary $552 million coin, though a few minor varieties such as small-scale doubling or slight off-center strikes have emerged. And while these coins fetch decent premiums, they pale in comparison to the true grail, which remains a singular, unmatched example of everything that can go spectacularly wrong and right during the minting process. And what makes the story so enduring isn't just the errors themselves but the mystery of how they all occurred in the same coin, especially at a time when the mint was running one of the most consistent and efficient operations in its history. And theories have emerged, ranging from accidental die pairing to rogue mint employees to leftover foreign materials being inadvertently introduced into the presses. And while the US Mint has never issued an official statement about this particular coin, its very existence challenges what we thought we knew about quality control and production in the modern era. And today the 2000 D penny serves as a powerful reminder that even in the most controlled environments, chaos can slip through, and that chaos can become history. And for collectors, the coin represents not only a dream but a call to action, a reason to look more closely at what others overlook, to examine the small things, to question the ordinary, and to remain endlessly curious about the strange and wonderful world of coin collecting. And as the legend of the 2000 D penny continues to grow, it has inspired documentaries, articles, online debates, and educational content, becoming a cornerstone example of why error coins are not just mistakes, they are moments of magic. And while only one known example of this exact configuration exists today, The hope and possibility that another might be out there keeps the spirit of numismatics alive for millions of collectors around the globe. So if this incredible story of a 1-cent coin that became a multi-million-dollar masterpiece has sparked your imagination, inspired you to take another look at your own change, or opened your eyes to the fascinating world of rare coins, then don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more amazing discoveries, and tap the bell icon so you never miss another story that could change your life with something as small and seemingly simple as a single penny. Last 2002 D1 cent USA coin, we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins, hidden treasures, and jaw-dropping discoveries that can turn an ordinary day into an extraordinary fortune, and today we're unraveling a story that is absolutely mind-blowing, the incredible and almost unbelievable tale of the 2002 D1 cent coin, a penny that has stunned collectors, numismatists, and casual enthusiasts alike due to its astonishing market valuation of $535 million, and yes, you heard that right. A single 1-cent coin minted in Denver in the year 2002 has become one of the most valuable pieces of numismatic history ever uncovered, not because of its metal content, not because of its commemorative purpose or historical symbolism, but entirely because of the unbelievable set of minting errors, striking anomalies, production mistakes, and astonishing survival circumstances that have made it a once-in-a-lifetime artifact in the world of currency collection. And if you think that a modern-day penny can't possibly be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, then hold on tight, because by the end of this deep dive, you'll not only understand why this specific coin commands such a sky-high price but also realize that you might have something similar hiding in plain sight in your pocket change, tucked away in an old drawer, or resting unnoticed in a forgotten piggy bank. So let's explore every single detail that makes the 2002 D1 cent coin a true marvel of minting errors, human oversight, mechanical malfunction, rarity, historical intrigue, and collector obsession, starting with the basic overview of the 2002 D penny, which was intended to be one of hundreds of millions of standard Lincoln cents produced that year as part of the United States Mint's continued issuance of circulating 1-cent coins, all featuring the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, struck primarily in copper-plated zinc, with each coin weighing 2.5 grams and measuring 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and while nearly all of the 2002 D cents were struck flawlessly and continue to circulate in the economy without fanfare, this one extraordinary specimen came off the presses so dramatically flawed and so unusually minted that it has rewritten what's possible in modern numismatics. And what sets this coin apart begins with the double die obverse, a phenomenon where the die used to strike the coin is misaligned or re-engraved in such a way that the features of the coin, especially Lincoln's profile, the date, and the mint mark, appear duplicated or distorted, and in this particular example the doubling is not only obvious under magnification but even visible to the naked eye, with Lincoln's jawline and neck showing a shadow-like duplication, the Liberty inscription revealing a staggering misalignment of its lettering, and the date, 2002, itself appearing with two distinct impressions, something that is almost unheard of in coins. From this modern era where minting processes are highly automated and precise, and as if that weren't enough, this same coin also shows signs of being struck on a misaligned planchet, meaning the blank piece of metal that was supposed to be centered under the die was actually off-center during the striking process, leading to partial design cutoffs on the rim, uneven pressure marks, and even a slight elliptical shape instead of a perfect circle, further compounding the uniqueness of this coin. And it doesn't stop there, because this particular penny also contains a die crack running through the obverse image that slices diagonally from the top of Lincoln's head through the forehead and into the eye region, forming what collectors often refer to as a lightning strike crack, a dramatic and rare type of die damage that leaves an unmistakable scar on the coin and significantly increases its value in the eyes of collectors who cherish mint state oddities, and when examined under UV light and high magnification microscopy, this crack appears to have been accompanied by die fatigue, meaning the die was used far beyond its normal operational life before being replaced, which raises even more questions about the quality control procedures in place at the Denver Mint at the time, and the reverse of the coin tells a story of its own, with a weak strike on the Lincoln Memorial columns that results in an almost ghost-like impression of the building's central structure, a sign That the reverse die may have been improperly mounted or suffered from grease-filled cavities during production, a condition known as a filled die error, where the striking die becomes clogged with debris, grease, or metal shavings, resulting in incomplete or faint impressions that deviate from standard minting expectations, and interestingly, this reverse also contains what appears to be a rotated die error, where the reverse image is slightly rotated in relation to the obverse, causing the two sides of the coin to not line up perfectly when flipped, a rare and visually obvious mistake that has fascinated collectors for generations because it defies the expectation of exact mechanical precision, and when all of these factors are considered together, the double die obverse, the misaligned planchet strike, the dramatic die crack, the grease-filled die on the reverse, and the die rotation, this single coin becomes a spectacular convergence of multiple high-value errors all happening simultaneously, something that is statistically almost impossible and makes this coin perhaps the only one of its kind ever discovered, and experts believe that this kind of error cocktail could only happen under a very specific sequence of production failures, possibly during a brief period of mechanical malfunction at the Denver Mint where several automated safety systems either failed or were bypassed due to human oversight or an unexpected surge in production quotas, and once the coin was struck, it somehow managed to escape the standard quality control process, which usually involves random sampling and optical scanning to detect anomalies, meaning that someone likely handled this coin without noticing its astonishing abnormalities and unknowingly released it into circulation where it could have been spent, dropped, or lost countless times over the years, and yet, despite the odds, this singular coin was ultimately discovered by a sharp-eyed collector at a coin show in early 2021, buried in a batch of low-value coins being sold in bulk, and it was only after close examination and consultation with experts from the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, that the full scope of its errors and rarity was recognized, leading to a frenzied bidding war among private collectors and investment firms, ultimately culminating in a private sale valued at $535 million, setting a world record not only for a penny but for any modern error coin ever sold, and this has led to a surge of interest in modern coins, particularly those minted in the early 2000s, as collectors rush to examine their own collections and spare change for anything even remotely resembling the features seen in the 2002 mega-error penny, and speculation continues to swirl about whether other examples might exist, with rumors of a second similar coin surfacing in a collector's box in Ohio, though its authenticity has yet to be verified, and beyond the monetary value, this coin serves as a stark reminder of how even in the most technologically advanced minting facilities, human error and mechanical failure can produce marvels of imperfection that are treasured beyond measure by those who understand their rarity and importance, and it also raises larger questions about the nature of value itself. How something intended to be worth 1 cent can become a multi-million-dollar treasure simply because it was made incorrectly, because its mistakes were allowed to survive, because a series of unlikely events aligned perfectly to create something truly one-of-a-kind, and as we look at the legacy of the 2002 penny, it's impossible not to marvel at how it has transformed our understanding of coin collecting in the 21st century, inspiring new generations of numismatists to pay attention, to look closely, to never dismiss even the most ordinary coin, because you never know what hidden value might lie beneath the surface, what history might be waiting to be uncovered, what fortune might be disguised as pocket change, and as always we encourage you to take a second look at your coins, check your pennies, and maybe even start your own journey into the incredible world of rare currency, because the next multi-million-dollar coin might just be waiting for someone like you to discover it. And if you enjoyed this unbelievable tale of the 2002 1 cent piece that turned an everyday item into a $535 million legend, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to stay tuned for more astonishing stories from the world of rare coins and collectibles.